Hello Lions, my name is Jerry Floyd and welcome to another episode of PC Talk. Today on the show, we have recent Piedmont College graduate and future Temple University student, Joshua McGowan. And we are going to talk about what Josh does for Piedmont, see some of his artwork, and hear what it's like to be heavily involved in one's own major. Thanks for joining me, Josh.
Thanks for having me on.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, thank you.
That's great. Let's just get right into it then. How does it feel to be graduated, working for the college you graduated from, and on your way to a top-tier grad school?
Well, honestly, I have to say that it's kind of a two-sided coin. On one hand, being able to say all the accomplishments that I've achieved over my 4 years is fantastic. Earning my dual concentration BFA is something that I've always wanted to do. But on the other hand, it's just one step in a much longer series of goals. So I really have my eyes set on the horizon. So even though I'd like to be able to stop a little bit and reflect on what I've done, I'm afraid it's just got to keep on going, trying to get down that road.
Oh yeah. Is it heartening to get work in your major this soon after you've graduated?
Absolutely. Honestly, there's this unfortunate stereotype that comes with people with fine art majors that's a starving artist. And I unfortunately have to say that I've been the blunt end of those jokes for an extremely long amount of time. So being able to hit the ground running in a job that is in my major and keeps my focus on photography is something that I can't describe as anything less than a blessing.
Well, hey, that's fantastic. Tell us a little bit about the artwork / photography that you've been doing recently.
Sure. Well, I'm primarily a darkroom photographer. I do a little bit of stuff with digital, but for the most part, it's all darkroom photography, and I like to do abstract art and things like that, and that is very complicated, so I'll explain it in the best way I can. Is basically, if you watch those crime shows where the crazy guy is dipping the pieces of paper into like a bathtub and hangs them up in his dark lit room, I'm basically that, except I'm not quite as crazy. So I do a lot of antiquated processes, a lot of old kind of stuff like that. Basically anything I can do just to put my own personal little bit of flavor on these antiquated processes.
That's awesome. That sounds really interesting. I've seen a good bit of your work, and it's all really, really interesting.
Thank you.
Is this the work that got you like into Temple?
I have to say kind of yes and no. These works are definitely what was in my portfolio that was accepted. But once you get to the grad selection committees, they pick on so many things besides just your artwork. They really try to look at the person as a whole. So a lot of things that I think really helped me get into Temple was not necessarily just having the portfolio, but also doing other things at my time, especially here at Piedmont, such as being on the debate team or winning the awards that I've had. Things like that that really expanded my resume so that they could see that I was a more well-rounded individual than solely focusing on photography.
That's awesome. Tell us about your job that you have right now as an art recruiter for Piedmont College.
Well, honestly, the job description, kind of the job title, pretty much says most of what I do. I'm a recruiter for the Department of Fine Arts at Piedmont. Since I had such a great time here, and since it set me up so well for my future, I wanted to give back a little bit to my program. So right now I travel a lot. It's mostly traveling and mostly emails, but I go into high schools and teach workshops about abstract photography, things like that, and really talk to the students about how they can make a fine art degree work for them.
Have you had any potentials that are wanting to come to the school?
Oh, absolutely. At the end of each workshop, I force everyone to fill out a card for Piedmont. I'm kidding. It's up to them. But after that, I send an email asking if they have any questions or if they're interested or anything like that. And the great news is that over this whole period of time, I've had about 12 or 13 people come back that have been very interested in the program. And we're a small department of about 60 people right now. So even that is a huge percentage of possible new recruits.
That's awesome. Final question. This early in your art career, do you find working as a recruiter and being more involved in the academic process more rewarding, or do you still like doing the original works?
Such a difficult question, because I've always had this dream of being able to teach photography at the college level. That's been not only just something I wanted for a job, but also as my passion. Right now, I've not had the full ability to dive into a position like that, so as of now, I would say that still having the ability to make my own artwork probably outweighs the academic side just a little bit, but I can see that moving around a bit in the future.
All right, I hate to cut you off, but looks like we're running low on time.
That's just fine.
Thank you guys for joining me. Thanks to my guest, Josh.
Thank you.
And stay classy, Piedmont College.